These are so cute. They're like little earrings. Do, 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 do. Hey, it's Liv. Welcome to SNH in the Kitchen, and today I am going to be making with you one of my personal favorites. This is a comfort food to the max for me. I am going to be making some zucchini breakfast tacos. And you're probably thinking, why is that comfort food? Why is that so delicious? Why is she making a video on this? Well, let me tell you people. You know, taste is about memory, and there are certain things that you just can't ever get out of your mind from when you're small. And my mom worked a crazy schedule. She is a single mom. She's not dead. She's very much alive in Bellingham. Hi Rosa, hope you're well. But what my mom did is she worked like 3 or 4 jobs when I was growing up, and she always worked nights. My mom worked at a hospital. She's a respiratory therapist, and she's still very much working right now. And she would very rarely cook. And thank God for my grandmothers, who are amazing Dominican women and who can slay it in the kitchen. So we had our meals covered. Very delicious growing up with some great rice and beans and some weird American fusion, to say the least. But what was so good is that when there were these like occasions where my mother would cook, namely she would make Thanksgiving and Christmas, sometimes Easter. And the other thing that she would always make, like on the regular, randomly, was these breakfast tacos when she had a weekend morning off and wanted to kind of hop in the kitchen. What I love about this is that I actually make this on a weekday most of the time. They are fast, they're delicious. Right now it is the peak of summer, and you can't beat getting some of this wonderful, delicious, fresh seasonal squash, whether you're growing in your backyard or you are picking it up from your farmer's market or your grocery store. This will definitely become one of those dishes that end up in your repertoire. So what I did is I had 2 sunburst squash that I grew in my backyard that I went ahead and chopped up, and I'm just gonna take a zucchini and I'm just gonna cut this up as well. You're not wanting to do anything too crazy to this, just, you know, even cuts so everything is the same size. You need about 1 zucchini for 2 servings, because again, we're gonna fold this in with some eggs, and so you don't need to make this like super zucchini forward. If you're like me and you love zucchini, then by all means add more zucchini, but this is really one of those dishes that you kind of just do what you have, work with what you have in your fridge. The reason why my mom developed this recipe was because she always had zucchini in the house, and she always had eggs, and that was pretty much it. And to make this a little bit more special, we're going to do something fun to our tortilla. Now I'm here in the Bay Area, and there's this one taqueria that is so good in San Francisco, and if you are in the Bay or you're gonna ever visit, please, 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 please go and check out La Taqueria on Mission and like 25th, I think, in the Mission District in San Francisco. They make these amazing tacos, and one of the things that they do is they do like a double layered tortilla, and so the bottom tortilla, the one that you kind of grip with your hand, they fry that on a griddle, and then they fry cheese onto it, and then they layer that with like the soft pliable other tortilla, like corn tortilla, and then you get your fillings, and it is like this double stuffed deliciousness that is so good and so crave worthy. So I'm gonna try and like replicate it and pay homage to all their good work, because I have been craving one of these tacos for so long, and because of our current situation, I can't get out to SF and have one of these. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take 2 slices of just provolone. If you have cheddar, use that, Gouda, whatever your fave is. And I'm just gonna go ahead and set it into my nonstick pan. I have a 6-inch tortilla here. I'm using a flour tortilla because I personally am from San Diego and I love flour tortillas, and this kind of is like my hybrid taco and burrito like baby. So a little bit taco size, a little bit burrito size, but all the goodness in between. That's hot. And we're just going to lay that right on top of your cheese, and you're just gonna give it a twirl just so that way the cheese adheres to your tortilla. And then you can hear, like you can already hear the cheese sizzling here. And the great thing, you have to use a nonstick pan. Like you cannot use a cast iron or like a stainless steel pan. It has to be a good nonstick here. I'm gonna just lower the heat down a bit, and you're just gonna let this tortilla fry. It's almost like an inverted quesadilla, which this is a great way to also make a quesadilla if you're so inclined. And what will happen is that the cheese will just start to fry. And it'll get golden brown, it'll form a crust, and all you have to do at some point is I'm just gonna take a large dinner plate here. I'm gonna invert it on top, and be very careful, don't let your kids do this part. I'm gonna invert it. I'm gonna invert my tortilla from my pan, and as you can see, you have all that fried yumminess there, and then I'm just going to slide her right back into my pan here and just let the other side of my tortilla just kind of get nice and crispy. One of the things that I miss so much about Southern California is that you really, these tortillas that you could get from like the taco shops, they're just so like luscious and good, and like, whether it was lard or something else, I'm not quite sure, but they just had this like suppleness that's really hard to find unless you're making tortillas yourself. And if you want to learn how to make tortillas, hey, click that subscribe button down below, hit the notification bell, and I am more than happy to share with you my bacon fat flour tortilla recipe. Once you start making tortillas yourself, it's gonna be really, really hard to eat like a tortilla that you would get from the grocery store, but they're not for every day, but they definitely make a taco night so special, and they're quick and easy. So yeah, comment down below and let me know if you want to see a video on how to make some bacon fat tortillas. Okay, so we have our delicious cheesy tortilla situation. Now let's go ahead and get our egg and our squash mixture going. So my secret to perfectly cooked scrambled eggs with filling is to always do the filling first. So again, I'm just using the same pan because what I also want and love about doing something like this is that you want it to be as easy as possible, and having like a one pot, one pan kind of situation, especially when you're just waking up in the morning. Let's be real, it's like you're blurry-eyed, you barely had your coffee, maybe your kids are screaming. It's not exactly like the perfect time to like bust out all 1,500 pots and pans that you have in your kitchen. So one good nonstick, that's all you really need. And that's what I love about this. So I'm just gonna go ahead, I don't have any oil or anything in my nonstick right now. I'm actually using the residual oils left over from my cheese to help ensure that my squash can kind of get itself going to start to brown. You will wanna season this with a little bit of salt and pepper. So I just have some kosher salt here, seasoned taste, and a little bit of black pepper. And while this all is cooking, let's go ahead and get started on scrambling our eggs. Yes. We're just gonna go ahead and whisk this up. I'm not using a whisk, I'm just using a fork. What I will tell you is like one of the best ways to get a good scrambled egg is to wait out putting salt into your egg mix. Salt will draw out moisture in your eggs, and it'll just make them a little bit tough. So I usually just like to season with a little bit of pepper first, and then I'll salt them right before I put them into the pan. So you want your squash to be like a nice, have like a bit of golden brown deliciousness on it, but you don't need it to be like super soft. You want it to have some texture because everything else in your taco is going to be very soft. So you just want to have that little bit of crunch. I like to have a little bit of texture, and so I'm not going to cook my squash all the way. I'm just going to make sure that it has some golden brown, but it still has a bit of a bite to it, just so that way I have a variance in my textures between my very, very soft eggs and tortilla with my beautiful squash. All right. So now the thing is with eggs, especially scrambled eggs, low and slow are your friend. The faster you cook your eggs, they're gonna end up watery and kind of tough and a little wonky. And if you've ever had that experience with eggs, that's most likely why. So what I do like to do is, because we've already had the pan heating for a while, it's been getting nice and hot, we don't have to worry for it to like come up to temperature. At this point, you can add in butter, olive oil, whatever fat that you would like to cook your eggs in. I personally am just gonna go fatless because I don't feel like my eggs really need it because I have a good nonstick, but feel free to use whatever. Now you can hear already that the eggs have like a nice sizzle. You wanna like agitate them right when they enter the pan. So you're just gonna keep moving them around like so, just to ensure that they cook evenly. And like the coolness of the eggs, especially if they've just come out of the fridge, will help drop the temperature of your pan. And so you will start getting like these nice big curds. I personally love a really soft scramble. Like soft scrambled eggs are my jam. I will take them any day of the week, but cook your eggs to the doneness that you prefer. If you want a harder scramble or something like that, because our pan has been heating and has been hot, your eggs won't take that long. Now my eggs, I ran ahead and shut my pan off because the residual heat will continue to cook my eggs. And now this is how you get a wonderful scrambled egg with filling without it turning like really watery and runny. Is when your eggs are mostly done, you go ahead and fold in whatever fillings that you've already pre-cooked, whether that's your squash like we have here today, or you know, if you're doing like a Denver with peppers and ham and onions. Not everything will envelop inside of the egg, but they'll all kind of hang out and commingle. You can always do this a little bit softer than I have here. And like I said, that was like, what, 3-5 minutes? So let's plate this up and eat. I'm so excited. Okay, so we have our eggs here, and this is like, I did 3 eggs personally, and that is plenty. So I have some garnishes here to just finish my taco off. I have some avocado, which I feel like you can't really have any kind of taco or burrito situation without some avocado. It just rounds everything out. So I'm just gonna use about half a half here. I have some store-bought salsa. Don't need to make it yourself, but definitely can. And then this is my homage to my Southern California roots. I have some pickled jalapeno and carrots. These are super easy to make. They last forever. They're perfect for taco night. If you want me to make a video on how to make these, let me know. Hit us up in the comments and let us know if you do. And I will definitely make these for you. Like I said, I make these maybe once every month or so when we run low. And they're just so good. They're great, again, to have on hand. They're spicy, they're briny, pickly, so good and so easy to make. I'm just trying to grab one more jalapeno out here. Yum. And if you are from Southern California or you've been to any taco shop in SoCal, these are like the staple that are always at the salsa bar. And you can never really go wrong with a good pickled jalapeno carrot situation. Now, this guy is massive, but this will keep me full for forever. So let's give it a try. I can't believe I'm gonna eat on camera. But let's give it a try and see how we did here with our tortilla taco breakfast situation. So not an elegant bite. This is so good. This is so good. Y'all need to try this. I'm totally gonna have another. This totally reminds me of my childhood. My mom making breakfast on a Saturday morning after working a night shift. It's light, it's delicious, it's perfect for summer. I highly recommend you try it. And if you do, hit me up, let me know. I would love to see your creations. Thank you so much for watching today. It's been such a pleasure to hang out with you. I'm falling over. Thanks for hanging out with me today, helping me, watching me make this delicious breakfast. If you want to see more videos like this of like simple, fast, elegant, simple, fast, if you want to see more videos like this, simple, fast, pantry cooking, then please hit that subscribe button down below. And I look forward to seeing you guys again. Thanks so much. Bye.